Oh. Not another password. I forgot my my email password today. You know how you write your email address so often, you log in so often, so you just sort of like do it. And then today I went to type it in, and I said wrong password, and I was like, what? Did it again, and it was like wrong password. It was like I just couldn't. It just wasn't there. It was so funny. It was so funny. So I went to reset it, and I remembered, oh yeah, it was that. So I kind of, logged in, but it's funny. Anyway, hi, hello, hola. Hi, welcome to the Thursday stream. I'm a little bit late, not too late, but a few minutes late. Yeah, I was being lazy. I admit it. Hopefully the audio is okay. You can hear me. Hope things are going well. So I shall do an introduction, and then I'll open Skype for any comments or questions. I might sit for a little bit because I just don't know what to talk about today. I have a title, but it was really like just put anything and go live kind of thing. So it's not really, or was it as this is still quite beautiful as this is. I was being lazy. So as this is. So when we first get into spirituality or get into non-duality, we have so many ideas picked up from what we've read or the films we've watched growing up. Yeah, like the culture has given us this idea about the future, about what's going to happen in the future. So all the stories and the films are all directed towards this journey, this future destination. And so that becomes a real part of our makeup, this deep movement towards something happening in time. And so we get into these spiritual movements and different groups and things, and with an aim, with an objective, because most groups are about an objective. So we're in this group called TX and we're fighting for this, or we believe in that, and our objective is to get to this place of this being sorted or this being created. That's the nature of forming a group. You have a joint or you believe in a what's the word, ethos, I don't know, a joint ethos or something that binds the group together. There's an objective in that forming of that group. And so yeah, that's kind of the way it is. And so in spirituality, there's still that same momentum, that same perspective of this is for a purpose. We are going to be on this journey trying to achieve something, trying to get something, get somewhere. And that's the purpose of these practices and these meetings and all these kinds of things. There's a joint idea that's being believed in. And that's okay. That's just the way groups, humans function. With this a seeming purpose, a seeming point for the group. Yeah, that's the way things are. That's just the way things seem to appear here. But what I'm trying to say, I suppose, is we have these ideas about it. We have these hopes and dreams and ideas about it. And so it can become quite disheartening when in non-duality, these ideas you had about the finish line aren't happening. So whatever ideas you picked up from teachers or speakers or books or whatever, there can be a frustration sometimes at not getting it or getting to that point or something happening. Like, I'm in this group and I've invested X amount of years and X amount of effort, and yet still I'm not reaping the benefits of that. But what's being beautifully expressed in non-duality, not just here, but in non-duality, full stop, is something that is outside of that. So whatever ideas you've picked up about non-duality aren't true. Whatever ideas you've picked up from spirituality, from religion, from the culture, from society, your peers, your parents, aren't true, which is really radical. So the whole of society has been teaching, and the culture has been teaching, that there is something to arrive at, there is an end destination. There was a point of finishing. We know in a way the death of the body is the final finishing point, but we hope and believe there's another finishing point that you can experience while living. So we're looking for this finishing, finally arriving place or experience in this waking dream, in this waking reality. Something to happen for me, some achievement and arriving for me. That I will get home, I will get to happiness. And this is the strain, this is the stress, this is the frustration, this is the seeking, this identification and belief in you and in time, which is the same thing really, but that you exist, your story exists and is true, and it's heading somewhere in time, and it's your job to make sure that place of arriving, wherever you're heading to, is going to be a positive one, a happy one, a successful one. And this is the frustration and the pain and the seeking of identified humans. When what non-duality is pointing at and what it's describing is a freedom and a peace that's beyond that story. So we're trying to get somewhere, we're trying to avoid what is, to get somewhere better. But what non-duality is pointing out is that this is it. Like, this is what you're looking for. So that's seeking to find something else, that's seeking to avoid what is not futile, but it's like it's in ignorance. It's not, it's an ignorance of what actually this is or what you are. Not a personal ignorance either, not saying like you are bad because you're ignorant and you don't see the truth. It's more an impersonal ignorance, an ignorance of identification that just happens. This dream of being a thought, an idea that happens, is ignorance. This belief in that story, this belief in that movement of someone. But it's totally impersonal. No one's doing that. This feeling of shame or responsibility is part of the layers of identification. This layers of I'm responsible, I am someone. And so what's being pointed to is this whatever this is, this what is happening, this that isn't happening. So it's not what we imagine. We imagine something. We imagine an experience. We can't possibly imagine what's happening. We can only imagine what could be. What I want to be, not what is. It's unimaginable what is. It's unimaginable. So this isn't about acquiring something. This isn't about getting somewhere else. This isn't about achieving or experiencing bliss or any high experiences. It's a waking up. It's an ending of something. And yet at the same time, there is everything. And so there is no ending. No ending. No ending. And yet here is the end. So it's not about what you can imagine or what you can learn and what you can know. What you can remember, the experiences you've had or not had. It's not about purifying your energy fields or forgiving your parents. Although all those things can also happen. There can be a clearing of the energy, a releasing of old energies. There can be a forgiving of your parents, an understanding and a forgiving of your parents. There can be anything can happen. Anything can happen. But none of the happenings mean anything. They aren't going to deliver your freedom. Freedom is what we are, is what this is. Total freedom. The problem with the person is that it feels like it wants to like make freedom into a thing that it can weave into its story. So I have freedom, I found freedom. He wants to own it. But by being someone, by making freedom, making it an object, a thing it can hold out, it stays apart from it, because here we have the object freedom and here we have me, who I am. And so it can only live in relationship to that idea. to that object, which is unsatisfying, relating to an object, relating to a form, can be pleasurable, of course, but what's being spoken about here is not pleasure, not merely pleasure, pain. We're familiar with these forms of pleasure and pain. The problem comes when there's a belief that these forms of pleasure and pain is all there is, that these pleasures and pains are actually real, and I am an object in relationship to them. Pleasure is happening to me, pain is happening to me. This is the suffering of humans. Only knowing that story of someone, only living in that story of someone, like a prison. But this is questioning that story, questioning that position of someone, that position of an entity, that position of an observer, that position of a subject. It's questioning that, highlighting that. Is that true? Is that true? Is there really someone? Who is this person? Who is this one knowing? Who is this one who thinks it knows what it is and where it's heading? Is that true? Is that true? So yeah, this is the beauty of non-duality. This is the absolute beauty of it. To question this, to question what we believe, what we think to be true. And for the answers not to be found in a thought, not to be found in a belief, in an idea, but for the answers to be, the answers just to be. The answer is, the answer is. So lovely. This has been spoken about by so many seemingly people, Plato and all these philosophers, and it's just so wonderful. So wonderful. Humanity has forgotten who it is. And it feels here as if, this is just an idea, but it feels here like, well, yeah, like the planet has this cyclical movement, and I feel like humanity goes through this cyclical movement as well, of remembering great awakenings that happen, and then the forgetting and the destruction of the planet and the destruction of certain land masses, and a change, a flood happens, it changes again, and it's just birth of a new way of being emerges, and it's just so, it feels like that here. It feels like that. This movement, death, birth and death, birth and death. So beautiful, not going anywhere. Not moving anywhere. So beautiful. So this is it. 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 So yes, let's open the Skype. So you are welcome to send a question or ask to call in. Me mobile data. So feel free to ask a question. I'll put on the chat as well, so you can ask in there if you wish. I prefer Skype, but I'll leave it on for any questions as well. Slow mode. Oh, my Skype's gone off. Just give it a few moments to see if anyone has any questions. Okay, so we have no questions this week. Okay, so thank you for joining. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of love. Bye.